Yes, good evening friends. Welcome to Gradeup. I welcome you all to another class of most important terms for UPSC, second week of April. So in today's class, we're going to deal with a very interesting and important topic for our UPSC prelims, which is artificial intelligence. So we have been seeing questions are asked in UPSC for the last 2-3 years. Consistently, there are questions asked both at the prelims and mains level. And in today's class also, we shall be seeing questions, of course, not only from a strictly factual analysis, but a conceptual analysis will be seen. Okay, I'll be telling you the schematics, the understanding of our AI and the use of AI in our society and what basically the government of India is doing for AI. Okay, good evening Satika, good evening Nandini, good evening Deepak Kumar Bharti, good evening everyone. I hope all of you are good. So I teach actually science and technology at Gradeup Super. So I've been assigned these classes. Just give me 1 minute, friends. Yeah, good evening, friends. So sorry for the disturbance. So in today's class, as I was telling you, we shall be looking into artificial intelligence, its analysis, and how does artificial intelligence work, what are its benefits, what are its challenges, and most importantly, what the government of India is doing in the realm of artificial intelligence. Okay, the government of India also is taking up some, I would say, baby steps. We are just getting into the direction of AI, though full-fledged, we have not started any program. We shall see all of them, for which you can have an exhaustive analysis of prelims. Okay, जो भी UPSC prelims 2021 के लिए चाहिए, we'll discuss all that in today's class. Okay, good evening Sangeeta Singh. Let's begin today's class. And before we begin, my name is B.Teja Sai. I've graduated from IIT Kharagpur and I worked at Ware Minerals for 2 years, and presently I'm teaching UPSC students for the past 2 years. Okay, and also parallelly, I've also done a sort of primer course on data science. So I have some sort of primer knowledge on artificial intelligence, machine learning and all. Of course, we don't need that theoretical data for this, but I'll try to tell you in simple terms, how does artificial intelligence work? So before we begin, what exactly do you understand by artificial intelligence? Now, AI is that it's a computer system. So it is somewhat, regarded to our robotics. Okay, it will come under the scheme of robotics and your computing. So you can say it's a love child of robotics and computing, and it would basically, it's the computer doing the task which would normally require a human being to do. Okay, why do we have computers? To simplify the human process, to simplify our daily lives, to simplify the computational systems. So the same system it will do without the interference of human being. Okay, that is artificial intelligence. The word to be underlined is artificial. Okay, यहाँ हमें intelligence है, but human beings are not involved here. Okay, this is the most simplistic idea you should be remembering, or whenever you're eliminating options, if there is a tough definition of AI, just see if human being is involved or not. If human being is involved, it's not artificial intelligence. Of course, human being can be involved from a supervisory stage, but on the whole, he should not be involved. So such systems, they can take independent decisions even in complex scenarios. So we have the ability of machines to perform cognitive tasks like thinking, perceiving, learning, problem solving, and decision making. Okay, so machines are doing all this which normally a human being would do. If I'm writing a Java code, if I'm writing a C code, C++ code, I have to think, I have to perceive, I have to learn, I have to solve the problem, I have to make decisions. But here the computer itself will take all of these. Okay, all or some of these tasks it can take. So AI will enable a computer system to carry out a task which requires human intelligence. So there are a lot of benefits of AI, a huge spectrum of tasks come under AI. We shall see some tasks in today's class. And there are some conceptual things which you should understand in AI. There are many terms actually, if you read data science, we have neuro-linguistic programming, we have fuzzy logic, We have a myriad amount of terms, but at least from a general studies point of view, you need to be knowing two terms: machine learning and deep learning. Okay, what is machine learning? Machine learning, it's a subset of AI. So one thing you should be knowing, all machine learning is AI, but not vice versa. Okay, all machine learning is artificial intelligence, but all artificial intelligence is not machine learning. Please remember that. Okay, it's a subset of AI, and it will train a machine to learn so that it can analyze complex data sets and provide the accurate results. So machine ko alag-alag tarike se it will be asked to learn some things. Like they can be supervised learning. Okay, they can be unsupervised learning. They can be your what do you say? Reinforcement learning. These are actually the three main areas under our machine learning. Okay, they can be reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is what we do as kids, or what kids do. You know that, for example, if you're doing some mathematics, okay, if you're doing 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, if I'm also asking you 12 plus 3 is equal to how much, I won't be thinking again 12 carried on plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, 15. I won't do that. I'll do reinforcement learning. I already know 2 plus 3, so I'll try to link on 12 plus 3. Okay, 2 plus 3 is something like 10 plus 2 plus 3, something like that. Okay, you don't have to know, actually, you don't have to know the theoretical part of all of this, but just remember these are the broad areas under machine learning if UPSC goes in detail. Okay, under supervised learning, basically you'll have to be looking into the area. Basically, you'll have to be looking into the as a human being, you'll have to be looking into what the machine is doing. Under unsupervised, you'll have to be looking, you don't have to even look what the computer is doing. Under reinforcement, the computer will learn on its own. Okay, these are the broad areas under our machine learning. Fine. For example, you can see a schematic here. A machine will look at a cat and look at a dog. So it will see the input of input of dog. It will analyze what are the characteristics of dog which are there in its hidden schemata. It will give an output that in fact it's a dog. Okay, that is something like your machine learning. Deep learning is something more different and something more in-depth also. Literally, it's in deep because it is an AI function which imitates the working of human brain. So this is a subset of machine learning. Okay, so deep learning, it will come somewhere under your reinforcement learning, or sometimes there are unsupervised modules also of deep learning, but mostly it's reinforcement learning, where it's mapped out like your human brain. In our human brain, we have neurons. The neurons, they get fired up. We have axons connecting each other, and axon to axon, the information is sent through dendrites. So that is the factor which we have. Here also we have something like neurons. Okay, we are having neurons so that they can be, the machine will have some neurons. It's not neurons obviously, but there are something like neurons. Just like how neurons work. How does neuron work? Neuron has, I hope you know what is a neuron in our nervous system. This is something like a neuron. And in neurons, we have something called as nodes of Ranvier. Do you remember? So in this deep learning also, there are something like a nodes of Ranvier. They're structured like human brain. So there are multiple such neural networks. So just like multiple such axons which we have in our human brain or even our nervous system. And the machine is processed and transferred from one part to another. So that is your deep learning. So remember first, ultimately, you have AI. AIK under we have ML, and MLK under we have our deep learning. Okay, and deep learning is something like our human brain. It's like a neural network, deep neural networks. And machine learning is where the computer can have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or reinforcement learning. Okay, this is a very simplistic definition which I can tell you, and this is important. This is enough for us, at least for UPSC point of view. Understanding the schematics of artificial intelligence is more than enough. Now let us roughly see where can we use AI and where can be, what are the challenges of AI. So the benefits of AI, as you know, it's a computer. Ultimately, it's a computer which can do things more easily. So AI can be useful in complex systems, big data, and machine learning. So for all this, where the machine has to learn, where there are complex systems, big data, and all, the computer can do that and much faster. Okay, for example, the fastest supercomputers which we are having, like, I hope you know, can someone tell me what is the India's fastest supercomputer? Does anyone know what is India's fastest supercomputer? Please tell me in the comments. It has accuracy, there is untiring nature, unlike human beings, they don't get tired, they're ultimately robotic computers, and they have intelligent automation. Like in health sector, for example, Google has launched a neural network which can identify cancerous skin condition with more efficiency than experts. So just like this, it can see the cancerous cell, it can see some cells, and it can analyze what are the symptoms of those cells, and it can conclude if it's a cancerous cell or not. So in that way it can work. And obviously it'll reduce the cost of our production by labor and capital augmentation. It'll involve in social development, inclusive growth. I shall show you some examples also in the what Indian government is doing. You shall see where in social development, inclusive growth it can be used. And one very ubiquitous sort of application which we are seeing every day is our AI chatbots. Okay, if you're using Zomato's app, or even I think some like Gradeup Help app. Okay, all of them, they're running on AI. So they'll see the terms like, my order has not been received, and it'll see order not received. It'll pick from that and it'll give you an automated reply. So that is an AI in a very simplistic term. So all such examples we have, all such benefits of AI we can have. Yes, very good, Darshana. Param Siddhi. Param Siddhi, it is India's fastest supercomputer and it uses AI. Okay. Actually, for a mains discussion, we shall be discussing more about what are the benefits of AI. But for us, at prelims point of view, you don't have to know. I mean, at least in prelims, which of the following conditions can AI be used? You should at least be able to tick the correct answers. But you don't have to know where it's helping, at least for a prelims point of view. The challenges, as we all know, is the main challenge of jobs versus automation. Because the role of unskilled laborers would be reduced. Okay, if you're coding, if you're a coder, or if you're a code analyzer, or if you're a data analyst, if you're especially on a low skill job, your work can be easily recapitulated by an AI system. Okay, so it is actually estimated by 2030, almost 40% of IT jobs would be redundant. AI can take up the jobs. Okay, there are actually some sci-fi theories that human beings will dress themselves as robots and AI and do the works of robots and AI. So that sort of thing can be there. And India, as you know, we have the largely uneducated labor force and a broken education system. So we aren't ready yet to have this AI. Then the most important aspect of empathy, judgment calls, non-accountability, non-sentient beings. Okay, the ethics part of it. Like in the last elections, when Donald Trump had won, the Russia's alleged meddling in the US elections, it was attributed to a strong AI program. Similarly, Microsoft had started an AI chatbot on Twitter, and soon they had to close that program because they had learned the human biases. So if humans was calling somebody racist, okay, if human was calling somebody, जैसे इंडिया पाकिस्तान के wars चलते हैं ट्विटर पे, है ना, you Indian, you Pakistan, अलग अलग के गाली गलौज जो चलता है, that chatbot also picked up that, okay, especially during the Black Lives Matter movement. So the chatbots also were reflecting that. Basically, your AI chatbot is as ethical as the creator who's creating it. So those issues can be there. And the most important, at least for India, is it is very expensive to implement. And developing countries, underdeveloped countries, there'll be a huge gap. There'll be a huge infrastructural gap in terms of implementation of AI. Okay, so those are our challenges of AI. So of course, this is not very important for a prelims point of view. From prelims point of view, you need to be knowing what the Indian government is doing for AI. Okay, what the Indian government is doing for AI. So first of all, we have the NIC, National Informatics Center, has set up a center of excellence where they are developing the system of innovative solutions in AI space, a gateway to test and develop the solutions for projects. And an inter-ministerial national artificial intelligence mission has been proposed. So not important for our prelims, it is still proposed. 1,200 crores they have told. Actually, this was told in budget 2019. कि budget 2019 में बोले थे, but after the COVID-19 pandemic and all, this has been in a back burner. Then a statement of intent has been signed between Niti Aayog and IBM to develop AI in aspirational districts. Then government has begun the use of AI on pilot basis for crop cutting and yield estimation under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, because under Fasal Bima Yojana you have to have this crop cutting experiments. They're called as CCE. Okay, using the GIS, MIS systems, you should be knowing how much the crop loss has happened. Okay, what are the losses or what are the insurance amount which the farmer has done, which the farmer is liable to be paid. So all of them, they can be analyzed by AI. So they have started this on a pilot basis. Okay, but one important scheme which I'm expecting in this year's prelims is Responsible AI for Youth. Okay, it's a national program launched by your MIT in May 2020. So it is designed to help students from government schools pan-India to provide them with the opportunity to become part of skilled workforce. So 8th to 12th class bachon ko, they'll be teaching AI, okay, the basic analysis of AI. I don't know what they'll be teaching because actually it's complicated, but maybe a basic analysis of this machine learning, deep learning, how do the systems work, or a simple AI chatbot kaise banana hai. All of them can be asked, can be taught. Okay, but remember it's under Ministry of Electronics Information Technology, not your Ministry of Education. Okay, please remember this, Responsible AI for Youth. And in our national education policy also, they have told of setting up a national research foundation which would boost research in AI. Okay, this also is in a back burner. So till now, actually only this has happened and this has happened. Okay, बाकी सब हवा की बातें हैं. Actually in India, honestly speaking, much of it has not been introduced. Okay, we are still trying to gain a foothold on AI. For example, Niti Aayog, back in 2018 itself, they had come up with #AI for all strategy under Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So they had identified 5 specific areas: healthcare, education, agriculture, smart cities, and smart mobility. Okay, smart cities and infra and smart mobility. Please remember, you have to remember these terms: health, education, agriculture, smart cities and infra, and smart mobility. Okay, सिर्फ ये 5 terms में नीति आयोग has told India should take up the research on AI. Okay, and they also told a 2-tier structure. This also only proposed. Okay, till now it has not been set up. Niti Aayog has told that India should have a core, a center for research excellence about having research in AI, and we should also set up an ICTA. ICTA will basically undertake the application-based research on AI. Okay, so actually this is maybe more useful for your mains to write something in mains, but in prelims they won't be asked because all of them they're still proposed. Okay, and only one major program which has been set up under artificial intelligence is RAISE. Okay, last year the RAISE 2020 was conducted. It is nothing but a startup challenge. Okay, Responsible AI for Social Empowerment. There was a global meeting of minds to use AI for social empowerment in areas like healthcare, agriculture, education, smart mobility, and among other sectors. Like education area mein, like they have made an area like how can we prepare students for competitive examinations using AI. So that will be a business, that will be a project model. And alag startups based on this pitch fest, they'll give their ideas. Okay, and the most feasible idea will win. Okay, so it's a normal startup challenge. You can also call it a hackathon. Okay, which keep going on in our country. Now this also been set up by MIT, Ministry of Electronics Information Technology. So please remember, jo bhi AI ke related hai, it will come under MIT itself. Okay, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Fine. So remember the Center of Excellence, remember RAISE 2020, remember Responsible AI for Youth. Okay, this one. These are our government schemes which are set up in artificial intelligence. All right. So that's it, friends. That is a short overview of artificial intelligence for you from all angles for our UPSC prelims. And for people not part of our Gradeup Super, on Gradeup Super, we are having presently the IAS 2021 crash course for prelims, the IAS 2022 foundation course for GS, the EPFO revision course. We are also having the NCRT course. There are almost 11 plus structured courses going on right now on Gradeup Super. You can actually download the app and look at the courses on Gradeup. And you don't have to worry about which courses should I enroll or which courses should I join, because taking access to just one Gradeup Super, you'll get access to all the running and upcoming courses. Okay, there is no need to purchase separate courses for separate exams or separate subjects. All the courses you'll be getting at one point. And we have the best and experienced faculty for you who have given multiple mains, multiple interviews, and a lot of teaching experience in UPSC. You can see all of the faculty here. We keep coming for these free classes also. I think most of you would have interacted with us. So all of us would be there on Gradeup Super. And we have specific subjects for you, specific subjects earmarked for you, where we won't focus, we won't focus on multiple subjects at one place. We'll focus just on that subject so that there'll be the seamless teaching for you. All right, friends. Also, please join us on the Telegram app on Gradeup IAS preparation and keep tuned to Gradeup, क्योंकि सही prep है तो life set है. Okay. So thank you so much, friends, for joining this class. I hope you understood AI, the basics of AI. And actually, ज़्यादा नहीं है. As I've told you, Indian government अभी भी जो चल रहा है AI के बारे में, everything is in the air. Okay, nothing solid has come up. Only RAISE and Responsible AI for Youth has come up, and UPSC can ask a question on those. Okay, UPSC doesn't generally ask something which is proposed, because that can be changed and that can be cancelled also. So जो set है वही UPSC will be asking, or they can ask some conceptual question on machine learning and deep learning. That also we have discussed. Okay. Chalo, thank you so much for joining this class. I hope you're ending this class being enlightened about AI. So thank you so much. Let's meet again tomorrow for another important term for UPSC CSE. Bye bye and take care.